Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a very quick dream I received on this morning, which is Tuesday, July 25th. In this dream, I just remember being at a gym and I was working out, and this guy walked up to me and he showed me this. It looked like a flyer. It was like a cardboard rectangle shaped flyer. And he handed it to me, and the way he was looking, he just looked like this was an urgent matter. And I looked at the card or the flyer, and I saw different pictures of little children. And it was very graphic images. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, the pictures were very exploited, where it was kind of showing men doing things to these children, but the image was blurred out. So although I'm seeing this, I'm knowing what I'm looking at, but the images were blurred out in a way where I know the Lord was protecting my eyesight, because it's one thing for God to have to show me something like this. It's another thing to have to see it like full-fledged, you know. And I know that, again, that was his way of protecting me, because these types of things are very hard to see. But although the images were blurred, like I said, it was very clear what I was being shown. And so I just remember this guy handing this to me, and he was like letting me know, you're the only one that's going to be able to put a stop to this. And at first I hesitated, only because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. It's like I'm being given this responsibility, this huge responsibility, but I don't know exactly how am I supposed to put a stop to this. But I immediately took the flyer, and when I took the flyer, I ended up at what looked to be like an event. It was women, men, children a part of this event. And it seemed like the event was based on what the flyer was showing. But when I saw the flyer was still in my hand. And there were many people in this event, but only a very select few had a flyer in their hand. And when I saw this one lady who had the same flyer in her hand, we both looked at each other, and I could tell she was bothered by what she was seeing on this flyer. But it seemed like everybody else who was participating in the event, there was singing, there was talking, it was like a celebration. Those people I didn't see have the flyer in their hand. And the same guy that had gave me the flyer, I saw him there, and he kept looking at me like, it's time, you gotta do something. And at this point, I can't remember if I saw it on the flyer. I can't remember if the guy told me. That part is very blurry. I can't remember, but it was made known to me that I only had a short amount of time to do something, to say something, because these children were about to be sent to Russia. Yeah, that was made very clear to me. These children were about to be sent to Russia. Now, the flyer that I was holding, it ended up being where the bottom part of this flyer had numbers. And I could see there were people like sitting at this table, and they were taking phone calls from people who were calling in regards to this particular event. And so I kept trying to figure out, how do I call in? I don't know how to call in. But when I looked down at the flyer, at the very bottom, there were numbers. And so I started pressing the number, and I was like, oh, this is how I call in. So I started dialing this number, and I can't even remember the number I was dialing, but it took me a minute to even figure out how to even call in. So I remember I finally called in, and I could hear the lady saying, who is this on the line? And I said, Veronica. And she said, Veronica. And she said, Veronica, hold for a minute. So it's weird, but I'm literally holding the card, this flyer, to my ear like it's a telephone. And so when she comes back on the phone, she's like, Veronica, are you still there? And I'm like, yes, I'm here. And she was like, I can barely hear you. And I'm literally trying to raise my voice as loud as I can, because I know this is my last shot. I cannot be disconnected, because I need to say whatever it is I felt the Lord was going to tell me to say. So I keep saying, hello, hello, can you hear me? And she was like, I can't hear you. I feel like, I'm losing you. I'm not able to hear. So I was getting frustrated, because I'm like, something is trying to prevent me from getting on this phone call. And I knew that another thing I want to add is, whoever these people were talking to on their phone, it was like a speaker. So whatever I was saying on my end, you could hear it on the speaker. So I knew that I had to, say whatever it was I was going to say, so that everybody could hear. And I could see that she was still not able to hear me. And she was literally about to disconnect with me. And I just said real loud, I said, God loves the children. And I said it 2 or 3 times. I just said it as loud as I could. God loves the children. And as I was speaking, there was kind of like, it started getting quiet. Because mind you, there was a lot of talking, there was a lot of music being played, and it was loud. But when I started saying, God loves the children, you could hear the music quieting down, the talking started quieting down. So my voice started kind of echoing throughout this place. And when I said that 2 or 3 times, the phone disconnected. And so I started looking at the guy, and I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know. And I was feeling almost like in a panic, because I'm like, my opportunity just left, and I don't know how else to get the attention of everybody that's in this place. All of a sudden, I started hearing this guy. It was like a black guy. He was performing this song, and the music started playing louder again, and people were talking louder again. What was very disturbing, though, you guys, is he was singing a song that mimicked what sounded like a Christian song. You could hear God in the lyrics, and it gave a feel like it was supposed to be a Christian song. But there was a verse he said that really disturbed me. He said something along the lines of, we are coming back. We came back to the earth, or we came back down to take our property, or to get our property back. And I'm sorry that I can't remember verbatim, but it was something along the lines of, we came back down to earth to take back our property. When I heard that, and he started going on, and it was like, again, the lyrics started saying God, and it was giving the vibe, or it was trying to give the vibe it was a Christian song. But when I heard that, in the dream, I literally I stood there and I'm like, and I repeated what he just said. I said, we're coming back to the earth to take back our property. And I kid you not, when he said that, there was a few things that popped in my mind. Number one, I knew that when he said take back our property, I knew that it was making reference to humans. And then the second thing, when he said we came back down to take back our property, I knew he was speaking of they came from heaven. And the third thing was, I knew that this was a demon. I knew this was a demon. And I'm looking around and I'm like, how is it that these people are not hearing this? How is it that they're thinking that this is a Christian song? And after I heard that, you guys, my mind was, I had to figure out a way to save these children. And before I could see me do anything or carry out the thought that I had to try to figure out another way to save these children, I woke up from the dream. I don't want to put too much of my interpretation on this. I just needed to share this and get it out. Please feel free to leave your comments. Whatever you may get from it, please leave it in the comment section below. And Lord willing, I will see you guys in the next video. This was very disturbing. I don't know. I don't know why God showed me this. But these children were being sent to Russia. So please pray, y'all. Love y'all.